Hello there, Algebra 1. I'm using the smartboard recording. I think one big problem is that there might be AC in the background. I'm still going to try my best to make this video for you to help you understand. So what I'm using is the practice sheet that was given attached to the Google Classroom. For 5th period, you guys got this physically. For 3rd period, I posted it on Google Classroom. So I'm going to do part 1A. Given that your slope is 3 and your y-intercept equals 10, what you have to do is simply plug it in to this equation, which is the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. You definitely have done this before, and this is really easy. Slope, remember, is the same as m, and y-intercept is the same as b. So y equals 3x plus 10. At that point, you are done. For question A, it's that simple. You plug in m, and you plug in b. For that point, you are done. Now let's do practice B. For practice B, we have the slope equals -2, and our points be 3, 5. With this in mind, we have to figure out what our B is. In order to do that, I'm still going to use the same equation up here, and I'm going to plug in everything. So I'll just use different colors to underline what I am plugging in. Remember, this 5 is a y, this 3 is an x, and the red underline is your m. So, y equals mx plus b. That means my y is 5 equals -2 times 3 plus b. -2 times 3 is -6 plus b equals 5 plus 6 on both sides. 5 plus 6, 11 equals b. You're not exactly done. We just got to put it all together. You have your m here and you have your b here. So your final answer is going to be y equals -2x plus 11. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. That should be enough. If you need to check back, just scroll back in the video or reverse. Let's start with C. I don't know why that was in red. So C, you're given 2 points, 8, 2, and 6, 3. So I'm going to write this as 8, 2, and 6, 3. This is group 1. This is group 2. This is x, and this is y. Why is that important? Because you need to find the slope. We need to find m and b. So we're going to find m first. So we're going to use this equation. You should not forget it. y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, which equals y1, so this and to this, which is 2 minus 3 over 8 minus 6. I'm not going to spend too much time because we've done many slopes in the past. 2 minus 3 is -1 over 8 minus 6 is 2. So your slope is -1 over 2. Now we have the slope. We could use either point to graph. Since we have slope, I'm just going to pick this one. There's no real reason why I picked that one. It'll get the same answer regardless of which one you pick, whether you pick 8, 2 or 6, 3. I'm going to do 8, 2. So that is 2 equals -1/2 times 8 plus b. Before you stop and ask, y, 2 is my y, 2 is my y, 8 is my x, negative 1/2 is my m. So 2 times negative a half of 8. So half of 8 is negative 4 plus b plus 4 plus 4, 6 equals b. And then we're going to put that final answer all together with my m and my b. Y equals negative a half x plus 6. Don't mind that I put it sideways. That's the same thing as writing this. I just put it sideways to fit a little bit better. But that is your final answer right here. That's how I want to see your final answer. If you need to look at it again, you could go back in the video. Let's go to letter D. F of 3 equals 12, and f of 1 equals 6. So we talked about function notation. F of 3 equals 12 is exactly the same thing as saying 3 comma 12. So guess right now, what does f of 1 equals 6 mean? If you guessed 1 comma 6, you are correct. Not guess, you knew. So we're going to find the slope still. 12 minus 6 over 3 minus 1. If you don't remember how to find the slope, go back in the video. That is 6 over 2. And I'm going to reduce that to 3. And 3 equals m. I could choose either point. I like 1 and 6 just because they're smaller numbers, so it should make my life a little easier. 6 equals 3 times 1 plus b. 3 times 1 is 3 plus b minus 3 minus 3. 3 equals b. So that, guys, is the first part. Oh no, we got E, and then I'll cut this video off and make a second one. But b equals 3, and I forgot to put the answer all together. Y equals 3x plus b, 3. This one's 3 because m equals 3, and this one's 3 because b equals 3. Don't worry about that little dot right there. They happen to be both of them 3. That's just a coincidence. Don't think of it as anything mathematically. So that is your final answer. Our last one, E, you're given a graph. Now, you could do it like this, where you have 0, comma 2, and 2, comma negative 1, and solve it the long way, or solve it the normal way when you're given 2 points. When it's a graph, though, it's very easy. So I'm just going to quickly graph how it kind of looks like. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Let's just drag that. Let's put a dot here. Let's put a dot here, and a line that connects it. Okay. So my dot, I'm just doing a different color to be clear. It's this one here and this one here. Now, why is that significant? Well, first off, I could find the slope by using my rise over run, which is just counting how much it goes up versus how much it goes right or left. You could do it this way. 1, 2, 3 down, so that's negative 3. 1, 2 to the right, so that's positive 2. This would give you negative 3 over 2. This is the same thing as doing. You could go from this point up, 1, 2, 3. So that's positive 3. And you go left 2, which is negative 2. These two are the same thing, because that is 3 over negative 2. Notice that these slopes are the same exact thing in both ways. You could also write it as negative 3 over 2. These are the same slopes, whichever way you count them. Now the second part I want to talk about is the y-intercept. And let me just say this, negative 3 over 2 equals m. That's how I get my slope, by counting. The y-intercept is the same thing as saying, where does it hit the y-axis? This is your y-axis. So it hits the y-axis right here. And on our table on the paper, It says that is 0, comma 2. So I know it hits the y-axis at 2. So b equals 2. That's my y-intercept. If you did this by doing the 2-point thing and then doing y1 minus y2, you still get the same answers. But my final answer here is y equals my slope, which is negative 3 over 2, at my b, which is plus 3, which is plus 2, my bad. Here's my final answer. I'm going to cut the video here so it's not too long, and then I'll do the next part in the Delco's video. Thank you.